So who's starting quarterback?
No, they're both available, and they're both taking reps, and we continue to get Sawyer ready to play, and obviously Lynn's been our starting quarterback the last 2 weeks.
How do you keep Lynn's confidence up, even though things didn't go as planned last week?
Well, I tell you, I mean, with the weather, the way it was in that game, I thought he played just played really, really hard. And there's just some situations where the ball was, there's some drops, and there's some situations where he was under pressure, and the kid really played hard the entire game. And Chris catches that ball in the back of the end zone, and a couple things go our way. We're right in that thing, headed into the fourth quarter.
It seems like despite the weather, Lynn seems to be getting more and more comfortable in that role as quarterback. How has the offense got more comfortable around him with him back there?
Yeah, he has great leadership. He understands. He's very, very smart. He's getting more and more comfortable understanding how to motion people. He's working with the O-line. He's listening to their calls. And in that process, it takes a little bit of time, but it's sped up with him just because he just understands the game really, really well, and his intelligent level as far as just football in general is really good.
Missouri's pass defense, I think, is the tops in the SEC right now. What does they do well against the pass?
Well, I tell you, they do a great job of putting hands on receivers, rerouting. And then they also mix up their coverages where it creates issues for quarterbacks. A lot of the quarterbacks that we've watched on film struggled and through picks, interceptions, and turnovers because they're not understanding exactly what they're doing in the secondary. So, we're trying to simplify everything and be good at what we do, so we're ready to go against whatever coverage they throw at us.
On the flip side, the Q runs work pretty well against them. How do you use that to your advantage?
Well, we're going to have, obviously, our run game ready to go, whether we're giving it to the running backs. And, again, Georgia at times was taking away Lynn. They wanted us to give it to the running backs, and there was times where, again, we force-fed Lynn into some situations where the quarterback was running the ball. So, he did a great job reading the defenses, and that's what we got to do this week. When they give him the situation where they're taking him away and he's giving it to the running backs, and there's going to be times where he's got to pull it and go make plays. But there's no doubt, Lynn was electric on the field when he did get loose. He made safeties miss. That's what he's going to have to do this week and continue to run that rock.
How much do you coach him up on pocket presence? It seems like he might need to be stepping up a little bit more than kind of going sideways.
Well, I'll tell you, in his first game, he did a very good job of stepping up. And last week, it was just the conditions, everything that was going on. They were pressuring the box a little bit more, so he, stepping up wasn't like it wasn't fun in those situations, if that makes any sense. So, yes, he is aware of that. He did see the film and some situations where he could step up and deliver the ball some different areas, but he also makes a lot of plays escaping the pocket, which is something we got to keep doing with him.
How much can you take away from a game when weather's that bad as far as throwing with Lynn and saying, hey, you had this or you could have done that?
Well, as far as the throwing part goes, there was a couple balls that were off target here and there, and some of them, two of them slipped off his hand, and it was just that kind of a night, And you look at what Georgia went through in their passing game, and Fromm completed more passes, but they only had about 30 yards of passing. It was just that kind of night. Unfortunately, as we got closer to the red zone, we wanted to take a couple shots because we wanted to try to get back in the game, and we missed a couple guys, and that's where Lynn could have put the ball in a couple different places. But again, he's the one that got us in those positions. So I'm very proud of him and how hard he worked all week and his time in preparation as he's going into this week. We got to get ready to go against a really tough Missouri team.
Was that the type of game, if you could have scored first, you would have really put the pressure on the other team because they would have been forced to throw the ball? Where I think Georgia only threw it one time the whole second half.
That's right.
You had to throw the ball, at least some, to try to get back in the game.
That's a great point. And, it was one of those games where you wanted to score first, and on the second half we drove it right down the field and we get a holding call, which was really tough because we were on the 16-yard line, and that's 3 points, and then we were going to go fight to go get sets, 4 more, and we got knocked out of field goal range, and it was unfortunate. And we just fought the rest of the game and couldn't get it in the end zone. But we moved it down there several times to put ourselves in a position to score. And in fact, we did have a drop pass in the end zone that Lynn threw a great ball. So, it's just one of those situations where, you wanted to score first, but, we had a chance to come back, and we were right there. And one thing about all our team, our whole team, but the offense, we got down 21-0, and we drove it right back down the field, and we almost scored again. So, really proud of our players and how they approached the game. And again, we were very close to getting that thing where we could have got ahead early.